one of these
He's
picks that
glossed
feels
over
really
so
good.
far. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Troll Warlord, remember, gentlemen, always a highly contested core pickup and is, up to this point, totally ignored.
Indeed. Troll
I
very, very good at killing that massive tombstone. Goodness gracious. Can't think of a... Well, PL's probably better, but Troll very good with that fervor. Am I right, Jenkins? Counter
Yes,
pick.
absolute counter. But I can't help but think the same thing. I think, Shannon, you said it yesterday, that it just reeks of Thompson. I believe that was you. Maybe I'm misremembering. But I feel like Troll Warlord. Oh, maybe you didn't say that. I
No.
feel like Troll Warlord is the same thing. It's like it hasn't, from what I've seen in like pubs and competitive. If you're not Thompson, you're doing this Ags build. It seems like people really like picking it, but not they don't win with it. that's my experience from what I've seen. So okay, Marana. I see. I see. So I think that's a possible carry Marana. Lies plays that a lot. He's been spamming that in pubs. But they also obviously most 4 positions can play this hero, so they can swap it too if they have to.
Yeah, I'm
There's
not
the
really
natures.
sure what that says to their lineup or in a response to black and yellow. It seems more something they're looking to play off for themselves, not as a response pick really to black and yellow side. Black and yellow now get that Nature's Prophet, which we talked about. Great pickup, split push and pressure, and has options to be able to globally be a presence and jump into fights instantly, or at least deter and pull focus from the other team elsewhere, so that you grant your team additional time to either recover and come back, or just allow your core a bit of space to kind of farm up. The hero kind of does it also. Always surprised to see it kind of make it through and into the draft, and now in the hands of black and yellow here.
I don't know if you want to fourth pick this, but the last time they had a Puck Nature's Prophet, they actually had Drow to accompany it all. But that was a fifth pick, which, I don't know, fourth pick against the likes of Void Spirit feels kind of iffy.
It does really kite the Wraith King though. Like if we're talking one-on-one carry matchup, if you pick a Drow against Wraith King, I think you do just win the game. And Drow can keep pushing towers when the Wraith King's ulti is on cooldown. So,
I
like
like it.
pace-wise, it's really good. I do really like the Drow here, actually. It's
So
just a
that
question of
means
like
it's a fifth pick, position 5, potentially.
possibly, yeah, possibly. Maybe it's a pos 5 natures too. Maybe they'll fifth pick the offlaner, have a better matchup there when they know like I guess they know what the lane is. I guess they know the lane is Wraith King Undying, so running the natures into that is fine. So you don't really need to last pick your offlaner. But the question is like, do they think Drow is going to get banned? That's really the question because there's 2 bans left, and it does look like a
Considering
really good
they've
Drow game
played
so far.
4 games on record and they picked Drow with Puck Nature's Prophet, you'd have to think.
Yeah.
You'd have to think that
If
5ManMidas
if
knows this is a
Sunsman
B
can
pick.
pull up the Dota buff page, I would hope 5ManMidas, who's playing for lots of money, can just simply
If
open the
not,
same tab and look themselves. I'd
I
hope
am
so.
available for coaching, gentlemen. Just want to throw it out there.
He did own a TI finalist team after
Yeah,
all.
don't
That
make
is
him remind
true.
us, guys.
I
Please,
told them
please.
not to pick Slark on the last game against Wings, and they did, and they lost. So look at that. That's proof right there that I should be the coach. Ricky, okay.
So you have the skeletons to cleave off of. That's always really nice. You don't
Yeah.
really care about this guy sending skellies down lanes because Ricky's just like an AFK Battle Fury farmer. And so you can actually deal with the Wraith King pressure pretty nicely. And then in team fights, I think we saw this exact matchup in Zoomers versus EG, where eventually the Ricky just outcarried the Wraith King. So it's not a bad matchup. The Drow is like more specialized. They did pick it, but it's like one of those things where it's such a specific strat to run a Drow strat, and if you start losing and getting snowballed on, it's just over. So Ricky's a lot easier to execute for sure. CM.
They're
does,
taking out this. Yeah, that's another. I was going to mention CM. That's again out of their 4 games. That was their last pick CM. I don't know if I've ever seen that before, but
I feel like
is
you
available.
have to ban Grimstroke here, right? You already have Ricky. You don't want to give them the Ricky Grimstroke. You have Marana Void Spear, 2 heroes that don't want to get silenced. Kite the Wraith King with the Grim ult. Like,
could they
seems too good.
squeeze Grim in their own lineup? Or they're still looking for that kind of 5 position, right?
Well, actually, they do have Undying, so they'd have if they'd squeeze a Grim in, it would be a 4 or
Oh, I'm sorry.
offlane
You're
Grim.
saying it should be black and yellow.
Yeah, I think that I
Okay,
think
okay.
Grimstroke looks incredibly good for them. They don't have anything to really like double
Yeah,
up
I
on
agree.
when it comes to the spells, but just Ricky Grimstroke. They've already picked it before too. It's a
Yeah.
comfort hero.
Okay, I was in agreement on that one. But they actually go with the Oracle
Huh.
here, a more defensive save on that front. Not really like anyone on their own team to be like, that's the natural defensive save for an Oracle. Maybe it's a more pseudo counter support. Fate's Edict's great to, stop Wraith King from really doing anything in fights, I guess. But an intriguing pick nonetheless.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you can dispel all of the single target stuns with the Oracle ulti. So I suppose there's that aspect to it. Like you commit with all of these with like Mirana Arrow, Raid King stun, Void Spirit puts his Q on somebody, like jumps in. They do some like hard commit. Oracle just saves, tombstones down. You just walk away and then fight later. That seems like a pretty decent game plan.
It's not definitely not the prototypical combo though, right? With Oracle,
No,
but
no.
I mean, you have a Ricky that's going to be super elusive in general. That just with that extra survivability could be really big.
Ooh.
Bristleback last
Wow.
pick.
Okay.
All right, it's a big one. But now take that in real quick and dissect it, spit it back out my way, and tell me who's winning.
Black and yellow.
All right.
I'm gonna go
Don't
black
copy
and
me.
yellow too. I like the laning situation for them. I don't think this
All
Bristle's a Trump pick by any means.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Sounds good. We'll see if that's going to be the case or not. Why don't we go ahead and throw to a break? And when we return, it's going to be on to Lyrical and GoDz to bring you the coverage.
Thank you so much, panel, and welcome back, everybody. We are here taking a look at our second series of the day in the NADPC Division 1. Man, GoDz, we've seen ourselves a little bit of I think it's becoming a bit of a familiar story in North America. This Ricky is just kind of becoming a bit of a menace. What do you think?
I like the hero. He's fun. And a lot more versatile, He farms now. He's got a Battle Fury build. Ricky's problem has always been his ability to kind of actually farm and accelerate and keep up with other carries, but players have figured a way around it, and it's always comes down to building Battle Fury.
That's the answer. That's the thing that you need to do. Yeah, and I think that this is going to be an interesting game to watch for, I think, both of these teams. This, to me, feels like it's a battle of two teams that are wanting to obviously make their impact felt in the DPC, in the upper division, but also want to make sure that they're not knocked out. And you really want to be winning these games since it's just the best of threes. You know that they're coming in with maybe a little bit less experience, but we'll see how they do.
Yeah, I mean, to be totally honest about this matchup is these two teams are probably middle of the pack teams in the upper division, or maybe even middle to lower. So these matchups can be the difference between potentially being relegated for Season 2 or not. So a very important match for these teams. It's cool because every match matters so much. Even when it's a team that can't make it to the major, obviously we're in week 1, these teams still can make the major. The matches still matter because they affect whether or not you stay in the upper division.
Absolutely. That's something to watch for sure. But we already have ourselves a little bit of a tri-lane getting set up top. Maybe just trying to secure themselves an early first blood with Flea and Jubei hanging out. But Jubei spots 2, realizes, all right, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I think it's the let's try get first blood before I TP down bottom, but no opening presenting itself. And whoa, an early Courier snipe up top. Shu just doing Undying things, I feel like I expected Nature's Prophet in general just to be a better matchup against Undying, but we saw in the last series, it doesn't always go as well as you'd hope, and we're even seeing a little bit here. This Undying's doing a good job of securing Wraith King's lane.
Yeah, not what you would normally expect. I mean, it just feels like this hero is so good across the board that you maybe need to come up with different solutions entirely. And maybe that solution is just ban it. Get rid of the freaking thing. Because it's really hard to deal with. But he forces back the Nature's Prophet, summons a couple more Treants, and they're well on their way. As Flea is going to try and keep them pressured back a little bit. Should take a look at mid a little bit. Jenkins was talking up RRL a heck of a lot, feeling like this is a really good Void Spirit player, and going up against one of the best mids in North America pretty consistently, Ryoya, on this puck.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how Ryoya does. He was absolutely fantastic in 2020. He was standing in for EG during some of the online tournaments, looked really good, and then he won an online tournament, Dota Summit 13, with the Envy team there. So he's been a hyped up, talked about player for a long time, and I feel like he never lived up to his potential, but it really feels like last year was kind of like a breakout for him in some ways.
Right, and I think that a lot of people were sort of curious, okay, he's ending up on this black and yellow team. He's kind of that I mean, all these guys to some extent are kind of veterans. They've been around the block more than a few times, but he's the one that's played on some of those tier 1 organizations, and kind of, becoming maybe a little bit of a leader for them as well. So we'll see how he ends up doing. RRL, of course, on his comfort hero, the Void Spirit, so far doing pretty freaking well against the puck.
Yeah, it's a good way to start off. Playing your very first DPC match. This is an inexperienced team. None of these players have, played at DPC events before, anything like that. So just going for comfort heroes, good way to kind of, maybe fix any of those jitters.
True enough. You can see a couple contentions going on for the pulls there. Akester wants to make sure Jubei doesn't get away with anything for free, and able to force him back for the moment. Do have to be careful. That Oracle has a ton of burst damage if he gets into range for just Fortune's End, Purifying Flame combos. But at least for now, it's a good job there to contest the pull, and gonna come on back to make sure it happens again. Nice.
Absolute pesk. We will see those nukes start coming out. He's got a Mango and Stick Charger, so a lot of mana for Jubei to threaten the kill here. But Murata will salve up.
Well, he's salving up, but he also has that envenomed weapon on him, so it's way less regen than Akester would normally be getting out of it. Still gets back up to full, though, afterwards. That thing, it always is a pain in the butt when you got it on you in a Tango running. Just like a little bit less regen you begin otherwise.
Yeah, I always forget about that passive, the regen reduction.
Yeah.
It's definitely annoying. And we'll see Jubei. This time he'll get the pull off, although there's only 2 little Vuls being pulled over. So 4-minute runes coming up. Ryoya and RL fighting over them. Ryoya knows he can't really go to the same place as the Void Spirit because Void Spirit has the disable. And luckily it will spawn top.
So that gives him a little bit of a benefit there. Void Spirit might have to have one of his teammates TP into mid or something to get him a bottle refill, possibly, depending on how this all goes.
Yeah. The good news is, he's full health, full mana, so he didn't need it to stay in the lane, but
down bottom,
of course, is annoying.
Lots of damage onto Jubei, able to find a first blood there. Monster makes the kill happen, gets the courier afterwards, and now Yamsun as well, going to get chased down a little bit by a creep wave over here. This is dangerous for the Ricky. He's got to try and get away, and he might just be dead. Chase down.
The TP in with the creeps dying might be enough, but he gets the arrow.
Oh, good play, but there's the stick charges coming out, and now they baited them in. More damage coming as Ryoya makes the rotation out of nowhere and gets a double kill.
Yeah, that's a level 5 puck. That's not even a puck with Dream Coil. He hit 6 off of the kills, but he just TP'd in, trusting in his teammate to get the perfect bait there, and it will be a kill over in the top lane as the Undying goes down, but what a play from Ryoya.
Yeah, nicely done. And now trying to find themselves an opening here onto Lies. Won't be able to connect, so the Nature's Prophet TP will not translate into any kills. We'll see what the result is now for 5ManMidas, how they're going to try and play this. It's still not like a huge detrimental net worth lead, but that rotation was really big. Now both mids getting their 6.
Yeah, I think they were just, when the arrow kind of baited them in, they weren't going to go for that kill until he hit a fantastic arrow, and unfortunately, there was like 17 one charges, I want to say, on Ricky, so he healed up, and the creeps were dying, so the tower was going to start hitting them. They should have just backed off, but good TP from Puck, and that'll stabilize this laning stage a bit for Black and Yellow.
True. So again, 3-1, and again down bottom, Monster is getting aggressive onto this Ricky, not giving him a moment of rest. So even though he did end up dying earlier, Monster's still feeling like he's the big man in town, and it's hard to argue.
Ricky will hit 6 soon, which will make this a lot easier for him as far as being able to just go invis to run away, and Monster's going to be careful. He's very low here.
Yeah, he's taking a lot of damage. Trouble, arrow going to be off the mark, trying to soak up whatever damage he can. They can't connect, so they will lose Monster. Shu dies up top. In the meantime, they did get some good damage into that bottom tier 1 tower as they still chase down Flea and try and kill him off behind the tower. RRL secures that one. And now also getting aggro. They are bringing in their own catapult destruction, and well, they do manage to get the deny on the tower as the Void Spirit takes a lot of damage from the ulti coming in as well. Already have taken down the Wraith King, and RRL going to dissimulate, try and back away, and it looks like he's out.
Yeah, this is kind of bad news, though, for 5ManMidas. I feel like their Wraith King's just having a really rough time compared to the Ricky now losing his tower. The Ricky getting to be involved in those kills, even though he didn't secure the last hit on them. Whereas Wraith King just level 4 still. Ricky 2 levels ahead. And with a much just easier lane to play at this stage.
Well, he's queuing up their team name item, trying to get the Midas to get back into it, and we'll see if he makes it in time. I mean, it's hard to argue against that. Granted, Ricky has become more and more of that late game damage dealer that's hard to deal with as well. So we'll have to see.
Oh, they found him.
Chase him. Well, he's got a little calling blade to get out of there, but still more time spent just away from hitting creeps. Frustrating time, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's the wherever you go on the map to try and farm, we're going to follow you. He can't really play top lane. It's just too dangerous, which is why Void Spirit goes there. He's got the escape spells, so it looks like Wraith King, his time and place is going to be in the jungle now.
Well, in the meantime, the pressure's coming from Black and Yellow. This is what you want to do if possible. They pull back in onto Zero, trying to get that kill. Starfall isn't quite enough, not there. And now the coil going to connect onto these two. Trying to heal up with the Soul Rip, staying alive for the moment with the Tombstone drop down. Oh, it was almost enough to keep him alive. Yeah,
RL did snipe the haste rune up top, which, you know, a small consolation prize, but...
Ooh, bottom. Yamsun going down, doesn't have vision, but gets him with the coils nonetheless. All right,
I was thinking Ricky would you got to keep running away from that bristle there, but nice solo kill coming in from Monster. That is a important kill for this 5ManMidas team. They need this bristle to have a good game, considering how these other lanes have gone.
Yeah. Well, definitely a good start there. Get some good damage onto the tower, and now going to try and cut the wave afterwards. Jubei is not going to be able to stop this all on his own. So that does buy them a little bit of an opening here.
It feels like Black and Yellow don't have a good hero to send against this bristle at this point. And if they want to kill him, they're going to have to bring a lot of heroes down there. He's got a hood coming, so he's going to be incredibly tanky.
Yeah, in the past, it's been a lot of I mean, you just look at all those heroes, and the only one that really does anything besides magical damage is, you know, doing damage with backstab, which doesn't really work that well against Bristleback. So I don't know. We'll see how this goes. Royo comes in, cuts the wave, at least keeps some pressure off of the tower for the moment as the movement comes towards mid.
Yeah, maybe Bristle is going to see... I mean, we're seeing a lot more Ricky, so maybe that means Bristle's going to become a lot more popular as a result, since he is kind of a direct answer with that passive.
Yeah, could be cool.
Also, just good in general this game. Like, against the Nature's Prophet, he wants to keep pressuring towers. Bristle's the perfect hero. Just, okay, they're coming to pressure mid. Bristle TP in and just stand in front.
Right. Yeah. And they don't really have a great answer to that, but I just try and out-farm them, I guess, on the rest of the map. And the whole time, Lies getting his AFK farming going. They will secure some bounty runes here. Looks like it's going to end up being a 2 apiece. Most likely. Royoya orbs in. Coil going to connect now onto the Mirana, but they pull back in Royoya with RRL. Wrath of Nature is going to come through. They do have healing already out from Jubei, and RRL going in very deep. Wants to make a play. And with Shu in the area, it does feel like they have an opening to do something here. Tries to pull back in, connects onto that Earth Spirit, needs to back away now, but with Monster in the area, I mean, all these heroes are just so elusive.
Yeah, Bristle shows up and everyone's it's just like, we're out, guys. Get out. We're not dealing with this Bristle, but at the same time, Bristle doesn't really guarantee any kills. As the mid-tier 1 tower will now go down. So whenever Bristle shows up, it's just time for Black and Yellow to kind of back off, go focus somewhere else. They just want to play away from Bristle. It's kind of that Timbersaw effect where there's this really tanky, annoying hero that's going to just kind of pressure lanes, but he doesn't do enough that you have to directly address him. You're better off avoiding him.
Right. Hide whenever possible. He will steal up now a bunch of these ancient stacks that have been built. So that's a nice little injection of gold into Monster. But yeah, this game, it does not feel as one-sided as we saw before. These two teams definitely feel like, you know, 5ManMidas are staying in it with Black and Yellow. We'll have to see how the next couple of minutes unfold. But if Lies can keep on farming, things are going to look good for him.
Oh, absolutely. He's got the Midas at a good time, and it's very much just like, if they can go even, or maybe even if this becomes a 2-3k gold lead for Black and Yellow, but Lies finishes his Radiance, that's when this game's going to look very different. So I do feel like, yeah, 5ManMidas are in an alright position. This game feels, yeah, basically even at this stage.
Let's see what they want to do on the Black and Yellow side. Roya spotted underneath a ward. That gives signal to Shu to get the hell out of there. Will spot him briefly. Has the coil, gonna drop it down now. And well, with Zero moving in, that's gonna be enough to likely get the kill as Wrath of Nature comes to finish it.
Not a big deal as far as either team is concerned. It's just the 5 position Undying, just trying to leech some XP down bottom.
Right.
Not really the ideal hero to have trying to push out a lane like that, but, you know, he doesn't really have anywhere else on the map to be. They are scouting out this Wraith King. It does look like Yamsen wants to go for a kill. He's requesting backup. They're going to have to kill him twice, but they definitely can.
This DD coming in factor. They rotate in. Good block off there by Zero. Now everybody else trying to get in range. Can they kill him quickly enough? ORL shows up, and this is the turnaround that they wanted. Black and Yellow might have bit off a little bit more than they can chew as the chase continues. They find the finish, but putting that ulti on cooldown, maybe setting up for a future gank.
And that's where that coil on the Undying actually mattered. I think if they still coil there, they can just coil the Wraith King after he reincarnates and probably kill him a second time, but they used on the Undying. So instead, it's 5ManMidas who are able to turn it around.
All right. Very well played. And then after they, pressure this 4 heroes on one lane, Wraith King TP'd bottom. They could maybe set up for him again, which is something to be a little bit concerned about since his ulti's on cooldown. And it looks like that's what Yemsum's calling for right now.
He stuck around too long.
Oh, and the chase down is going to come, and he will lose his life right there.
It was the right idea, I think, to TP bottom and farm that one way, but he needed to instantly back off there and probably fall back to his jungle, because as soon as you have reincarnation and you're playing against this mobile lineup, Nature's Prophet, Puck with Boots of Travel, Ricky who can just run around invis, these heroes will hunt you. So you have to play very safe as this Wraith King.
Yeah, particularly after there was no contention for that tier 1 tower top, right? Like, they see everybody else. But regardless, 14 minutes in, 10-4, only 1,000 gold lead. Still a very even matchup. Anything else that's really coming on the horizon? I guess we've got a Spirit Vessel that's getting close for Flea. And that might be a nice little pickup for him here for the Bristle. If we're gonna get any.
That'll definitely help. This Bristle has so much health regen. Does look like 5ManMidas. We're going to do a bit of what Black and Yellow's been doing to them, which is just try to bully down some towers. Now that they've got this mega farm Bristle who can just frontline. No real answer to him. You theoretically could kill him if you bring like 4 or 5 heroes and dump every spell, but you're going to be... Bristle's not the one who's going to kill you then. That's when the Void Spirit's going to show up and wreak havoc, so... It does feel like they're just giving up this tower mid to the Bristleback. And they're hunting the Wraith King. I like this move.
Yeah. Very good stuff. If they can kill him twice in the duration of his ulti being down, this would be pretty devastating. They instead are going to find up top the Mirana, and Wraith King will have enough time to get himself out of there. But, I mean, losing the Mirana there, that's almost a blessing in disguise.
Absolutely. That was, like, so good for 5Midas. They're going to go back and watch that replay. Like, maybe someone's like, oh, Mirana's like, oops, sorry, guys, I fed. But if that was the Wraith King, yeah, that's really bad. Plus, Mirana even picked up the bounty rune, so...
Right.
Definitely a good outcome for 5ManMidas.
Well, he's still holding out there over in the triangle. The ward is going to spot Lies, and that might set up for another movement into the jungle by Black and Yellow.
Yeah, almost has that reincarnation. That's when he's really safe, because even if you gank him, there's going to be plenty of time for TP rotations. His teammates are even hugging him right now, playing around him.
Yeah. Stand back. Gonna pop that Midas now, get towards that level 12, and in the meantime you can see that like Bristleback just runs down a lane. He's not at all worried about anybody.
Doesn't even need backup, it feels like. Yeah,
No.
He literally has 0 backup, and it's kind of this bait play where he shows bottom, so Black and Yellow are going to assume he's got backup, but they're actually playing Ultra on the map.
Ooh, this is nice. They are going to get the D ward, but immediately the arrow follows this one up, and it's going to be a quick kill onto Zero. Yeah, that's a nice little bait play there, definitely.
And because Bristle's so damn tanky, you can even when they show everyone mid, he still feels safe down bottom. We're going to test how tanky he is, though.
Yeah, going into Moonlight now, rooted for a while. Moving into position with that Soul Rip. Does they keep him alive long enough? Arrow, ooh, just barely off the mark there. RL stuck up on the cliff. And it looks like, yeah, he is tanky enough that he can survive.
That's the beauty of it being a Bristle. I think if they TP'd a little bit sooner with the Puck and caught him, because he was at the tier 2 tower, the second they show mid and kill that Nature's Prophet, they could have maybe tried to punish him, but yeah, this Bristle's just so incredibly strong. Has an Eternal Shroud now as well.
Yeah, that's terrifying. They are bringing in a couple of heroes here. try and catch out RL and Aster possibly. They're going to run right into Zero, catch him with the taunt. Flea is nearby. We'll try and salvage something here. So too is the puck. This actually is going to turn really bad for Black and Yellow, or rather for 5ManMidas, as RL will eventually go down, but they were able to keep alive Zero there. Nice play.
Yeah, good bait from Black and Yellow. As both carries continue to farm. Yamsen close to his Battle Fury, at the same time Lies close to his Radiance, so things kind of staying even here, even though the kill's heavily favoring Black and Yellow. The net worth is showing not much separating the two teams.
And we're going to have to see how that changes over the next couple of minutes, because as you mentioned, Lies getting close to that Radiance, and that definitely feels like the point in time when you can maybe start to either ramp up his farm that much further or go for more kills, as Jubei will get clipped there by the arrow. Monster staying on top of him, and need to keep up this aggression.
I'm very curious to see like how much of like a scaling threat this Bristle's going to be. It feels like Eternal Shroud is this item that was made for Bristleback, and once he gets a Lotus Orb so that he can purge off this Spirit Vessel, he is going to be frightening to deal with in the team fights. I don't think they're going to have the damage to deal with him. The physical damage of Ricky is all mitigated by his passive, and Puck's magic damage is being mitigated by the magic resistance he's picked up.
Yeah, it feels like almost... I mean, I guess if there's one thing, maybe the cleave kind of works against it with Ricky. Yeah. That might be like the way that you can salvage it if Ricky gets enough damage, but even still, it's not like Monster's not going to be getting items to make him more tanky along the way as well. So it's going to be something to watch for sure, and it'll be an interesting time. Maybe also Zero ends up translating into like a Silver Edge or something else along the line. But Jubei, we found in the jungle yet again. Monster goes in for the finish.
Yeah, this Bristle's becoming a huge problem, and like you see the top of the scoreboard, probably like you're tuning in like, okay, Radiant, you know, they're up on kills, they have a 1k gold lead, they should be slightly ahead, but once you see where the farm is, you know, I really like how 5ManMidas have these two cores, Bristle and Wraith King, who feel unkillable. They're top of the net worth charts. Yeah, Void Spirit's a little underfarmed, but he can still do what he needs to do as a Void Spirit, just with the basics, the Yule Scepter and then Aghanims later on.
True. Arrow.
Oh, Ryoya.
Nice play there, and Zero trying to salvage this, but with the arrow coming in, I don't know if he's going to be able to. RL jumps away afterwards, and Black and Yellow lose another hero while they're also losing the bottom tier 2 tower.
Yep. It's where this they first to this Void Spirit. I mean, it's the RRL classic, and it's also an answer to the Puck. Whenever you catch Puck in that Yules, you've got a guaranteed setup. It's the stun combo top. Now Ricky's dead. He couldn't get the tricks of the trade-off in time to dodge the stun.
Dang. Huge hit there. And yeah, he just didn't get the tricks of the trade-off in time. Like you said, he saw the stun coming, but couldn't quite get there in time.
It was mid-cast animation, very close, and it feels like all the momentum is swinging 5ManMidas' way. They've got their key items up, the Radiance, and I think he's about to pick up a Blink Dagger before the AC, so it's go time. They're going to have this Wraith King who can just go charging in. Looks like no, instead he's going to go for the Hyperstone, so prioritizing AC before the Blink. But the 5ManMidas side is just so scary right now.
I kind of would have liked to see the Blink Dagger first as well, but I guess that this sort of maybe allows them to take Roche quicker or something else like that to try and shut down the map. But a lift up, they don't need that much if they have that easy of a setup for a combo. Like, Oracle can't get found at the beginning of a fight. Not that this was necessarily going to be one, but it feels like they've completely taken over the tempo of this map, and more importantly, just complete map control. There's very few places that Black and Yellow can farm safely.
Yeah, they're just the Void Spirit. Even the, you know, he's number 6. As far as the cores go, he is the least farmed core in the game, but he is having the highest impact, it feels like, in some ways, just by making plays happen.
Absolutely.
And they get both tier 2 mid and top, and probably they can just go for Roshan whenever they want to.
Yeah, like, how do you contest this? They don't really have team fight on Black and Yellow, it feels like. I mean, Puck sort of is their version of it, but it doesn't feel that scary.
Yep. Wraith King stops farming the Ancients to make a beeline towards Roshan. It looks like they want to force the fight first, and well, why not?
They got him caught right there to the side. Jubei trying to keep his buddy alive, Flea rolling in afterwards. I don't know if this is the fight that you want, though. Tombstone up on the high ground. Now they're all kind of stuck. Jubei is going to be ran down most likely by Aster here, or they're just going to leave him be. Okay.
Yeah, I thought Mirana was going to go for a Yule setup there, but I guess they decide not to chase too far.
It's fair enough.
But
Yeah,
it's so hard. If you move out to contest Roshan, they're just going to stop Roshing and come and kill you. The Void Spirit Yule's setup for the Remnant is just... There's no counter to it right now on their team. I mean, the Oracle theoretically can save that hero, but in doing so, the Oracle himself probably dies.
Now, Puck did pick up a Lincoln Sphere, so that at least is an answer for him. But it's still not like... I mean, you might not die initially to that combo, but I don't know if Royo really has enough damage right now to deal with these heroes. Like, Bristleback is at 2200 HP. This dude's got 40% magic resistance. I just don't see them killing him right now, and certainly not twice.
Yeah, I think it was definitely the right item pickup, and I like that Ryoyo went for it, but it, like you say, it solves the problem of him dying. It allows him to do the only thing he can do right now, which is just split push these waves without dying. But it will basically not answer the Bristleback problem or the Wraith King problem. There's damage, there's not enough damage, there's just, yeah, he's not going to do enough in a team fight, but the plan is very much to split push. They've got Nature's Prophet, they've got Puck, they're just going to be split pushing these waves. I'm actually surprised to see that the Nature's Prophet hasn't gone for that, the Shard, for the Greater Treants. I feel like the plan being to split push, you want to get that Shard.
Yeah, he's got it queued up right now, going for the Grumlow Classic. And we'll see if he ends up being able to get that in the next couple of minutes here. But it's the type of thing that, like you said, you have to do. Cut the waves constantly. And we'll see if, 5ManMidas can deal with this. Because this is another type of thing that, you don't necessarily see as often. You see it, I think, much more often in pro games where you just have to deal with the constant split push. And Zero right now, going to try and TP out of there. It does look like he'll be able to escape.
That's how 5 does have to use the BKB, and oh, they sniped Courier with quite a bit of items.
That was Shoes Courier, the Undying.
His tome. It looked like a stack Courier, had 6 items, but just support stuff, I guess.
No.
But eventually, I think this Riki does kind of become a carry threat. I know something Jenkins mentions, like it does feel like once you get late game, the Riki can kind of out carry a Wraith King, as we saw in the EG4 Zoomers match. But you've got to kind of get there, which I feel like Yamsen's a long way away from.
Right. Well, and see, this is the thing that sort of I wonder about. You look at the movements right now from Black and Yellow. You've got heroes that are pushing out each of these side lanes, Treants that are cutting the way as well. How well does this team deal with this type of split push? I mean, it looks like they're just going to try and force the issue right down mid. Yep. And we'll see if that ends up working for them. But it could be a problem.
The double reincarnation bros in the front line with an AC. These two heroes are just going to hit the tower, and they're unkillable.
Right.
Like, there's nothing you can do about them except cut the waves. Puck cuts the mid waves, so they're just trying to clear these mid creep waves. But 5ManMidas is just going to hit the tower and try to get the racks here. The backdoor protection will kick in soon, though. So they're going to be quick.
That's the frustrating thing. No glyph available, though, but the creeps were there for long enough, and now they're able to take down those racks. Disarmed for the moment. I think that if you're Black and Yellow, just let them head out of here now, because the creep wave's cut.
The backdoor protection is kicked in now, so your Rax is safe for now. And if you're 5ManMidas, what you have to do is escort your next creep wave. Make sure you get one more creep wave, because if you get another creep wave on the high ground, that Rax is probably just dead. They have no answer to these two beefy frontliners.
Royoya is going to cut that next one, but there's a catapult up on the top lane.
Yeah, they'll use this creep wave top to go in mid. That disables backdoor protection, allows them to get this Rax now. And they're going to keep picking off poor Jubei, although this time they miss up the combo.
Yeah, he's trying to get the goal with himself, but it's not going to be enough. Now Magnetize, again, just tickling this lineup. Like, these guys are way too beefy. Really care about that, but maybe with Royoya jumping in now, Yumsem as well. They try and find the kill, take down one. Can they get themselves another? Lots of damage out, controlling Flea, beating the crap out of him. So Black and Yellow already losing one. This is the Ags Riki, so it's a good chunk of damage onto multiple heroes, but they just don't have that single target burst that they need for Monster.
He's still got the Aegis, so I imagine, yeah, he should probably just hit this Rax here, force a response. Wraith King's going to be careful. He's going to wait 15 seconds for another reincarnation. That's why he's not going in.
Oh, arrow connects there onto Zero, and they're going to blow up that Nature's Prophet. No chance for a way out of there, and the racks are going to fall.
Yep.
As eventually they just take them all down. Although actually backdoor protection now back up again. God, this is really annoying. Ah, there it is.
It's the name of the game if you're Black and Yellow at this point. Just keep cutting those waves, keep trying to split push, And eventually this Ricky, maybe with 1 or 2 more items, could theoretically become a late game threat. May even need a rapier if they go down too many racks here. He's just queuing up a Daedalus for now. I like this. Just get as much damage output as possible.
Right. Well, Roche is going to, or rather the Aegis is going to expire very shortly here. But they're going to cut this other wave yet again. So it looks like 5ManMidas will, by the time they get to the tier 3 with the creep wave, not have that Aegis anymore. And you can see Lies is just like, all right, I'm out of here, guys. I'm going to go back to farming.
Yeah, this is where there's kind of a question asked for 5ManMidas. Like, do we play it ultra safe and wait for next Roshan, or do we try breach high ground? And, you know, I think in a high pressure game like this, they're going to just play the farm game, deal with the split push until they have another Aegis.
Right.
There's a couple, like, neutral items to pick up. They get some nice ones in the Orb of Destruction, the Spider Legs, so no rush for them.
Ooh, trying to find Royoya. They need to break the Lincolns, and the silence comes out. He's just dead.
He's got no answer for the Aghanim Scepter of the Void Spirit. He hit the Remnant without the Yule setup.
Yeah, that's a problem. That Ags is huge. Lincolns does not solve that problem. Damn.
Yeah.
Well played by RRL. Recognizing that weakness of that build and taking full advantage. Now there is some pressure coming down bottom, which they're going to need to come and address. As you can see, they cancel the TP actually for RRL, and now they're just going to head in and try and take this other lane of Rex.
Yeah, I think they feel like they can get... Maybe they lose a tower bottom, but they know they're not going to lose Rax, so I think they're just hoping to get a second lane of Rax before they TP back. But Zero is doing his best to apply some counter pressure on the map. Somebody's going to have to TP back soon for 5ManMidas.
They are going racks for racks, which is not always the best thing in the world, but there are tier 2 towers mid and top. Maybe they just go get Megas.
Yeah, that works too.
That's a kind of cool idea.
I mean, Megas pretty much kind of secures the game, or at least gives you complete control of it.
But you got to be careful about taking a fight here and then losing it. Tombstone is down, Lies stuck over in the trees. He's going to take a ton of damage, ends up falling. Meanwhile, Puck jumps in, gets the rollback to kick. He's in trouble. Lies going to fall. They find that kill, and now you got to get the hell out of here. And suddenly that Rax trade does not look as good. Silence onto RRL as they're going to chase down this Void Spirit, get the kill, and that is a huge win for Black and Yellow.
Oh, absolutely. They traded Rax and then found a number of high-profile kills. Really good team fight. They just kind of baited them in. I think 5ManMidas thinking that Black and Yellow aren't going to fight them because they're trading Rax just got a little bit too greedy there. And Ryoya's pressuring even more. He's got Desolator. He actually does some okay damage here.
This guy's crazy. He goes and gets the courier kill here. It does look like they're going to roll onto Monster now. Everybody shows up, but Lotus Orb, I mean, this feels really hard to do. The backstab not doing as much damage against the Bristle. The Force Staff gets him out of there for the moment. And now Monster wanting to turn and fight and beat a little ass possibly. Can he kill off Fleet? Not quite going to get there in time, but the chase going on the other side. Now Aikster being ran down by Ryoya, who will not be able to catch him.
You know, poor Undying, he did the right support thing. He's like, okay, my core's getting gone. I need to go back him up with a Soul Rip, but just by being near the Bristle, he becomes the new target, because I don't think Bristle was close to dying. He's so tanky. He's got a heart, 3.5k health. He's unkillable.
God. He does have a heart. I didn't even realize that. All right, that's kind of insane. That's going to be a problem.
Yeah, I'm wondering what he gets next. Maybe an armor item like a Shiva's Guard or something. Or he wants to just become like a right-clicking carry because the Warpath stacks maybe will allow him to become like a building hitter even.
Right. That's a possibility, definitely. You can go a lot of different ways with it. Now Roche did respawn. It was a really quick respawn, 10 seconds after, roughly. And we'll see if Monster goes in to check on it. They're probably going in there right now.
Yeah, even though Black and Yellow did a fantastic job with that last fight. Okay, BKB TP out from Zero. It does still feel like 5ManMidas.
The BKB into down bottom. Now he does have his BKB of his own, but he's going to get a ton of damage here. Can he get out in time? Yes.
Close.
Just barely.
All that minus armor. If Yamson got one more crit, that may have been a kill. I was about to say, it feels like 5ManMidas is still in a pretty good position to control Roshan and get the next Aegis, but got to be careful.
Well, and they keep on making this call to head just down a lane to go and get Rax, and you know, you can admire the tenacity, but you got to worry at least a little bit. Like, if you lose this next fight, suddenly that's Roche going also to Black and Yellow.
Yeah.
But maybe they just feel like they can't lose a fight right now. We'll see.
It really, I think we're seeing that they have to play around the Bristle as their Sieger. Wraith King, even when he has 2 lives, I don't think he can actually play too aggressively because he dies twice too easily.
Right. Tried to find Jubei there. It doesn't quite connect. The jump in comes from Ruben. Good silence onto everybody. Now gets the second one onto 4. RL gonna pop that. Their lens needs to back out. Can't get away in time. The Q purged off that Aeon disc, and now they still haven't taken this tower. Monster standing tall up front and center. Going to get a lot of mana regen there, but the eventual burst, and guess what? They don't have a creep wave yet again. Oh, good blink out. And Lies, he's going to be controlled. He's taking a ton of damage. He's going to come back in just a moment, but yeah, he doesn't have a way out of this one that easily. Okay. Well, actually, with that stun being able to hit, they will manage to escape. I thought there was another sprout coming.
Yeah, that was definitely risky. I feel like Lies needs to be careful about blinking in too aggressively. Did have the BKB there, but I think 5ManMidas, we're seeing them adapt, which I really like. It's like they're understanding that they just need to put, whenever this Ricky goes in with Tricks of the Trade, let Bristleback tank all of the damage. Don't even worry about your Bristle dying or feel like you have to back him up. He will survive through anything.
Right. And now heading back towards Roche. This is, I think, the way that they need to do this here. Gonna have Aegis and Cheese, and I don't know. Part of me feels like Black and Yellow need to contest, but it's just so difficult to do it.
Yeah, I think Earth Spirit's too crucial for this contest. Void Spirit respawns and can TP to the outpost if needed. It does look like they're just going to be giving it up. And okay, I was about to say, this Aegis, as much as I like the idea of having 2 heroes with Reincarnation, it does feel like Wraith King's life is much easierly lost, so giving him the Aegis does make sense here.
Oh, pings RL, recognizing that there could have been something there, but he's going to get caught. 7 seconds until Aeon Disc, but they already have that nullifier. What a great pickup from Zero.
You didn't see that coming.
It's been a good choice for him. That MP
has been really good play coming out from Nature's Prophet. 9-4-4. Like, they're playing on the back foot. They're down racks, but Zero has really kept them in this game with the pressure he's putting out, and plus all the hero kills he's finding for them.
All right, you can see the L drawn on the minimap there. Just go down that lane, everybody. It's time to hold hands and grab a creep wave together.
And that's the, entire first minute of this 5 minutes of Aegis that is being wasted. Really, 2 minutes of the Aegis is being wasted because the Void Spirit is dead.
Oh, Wise? He's kind of alone here. They jump on him right at the start, Shu, though. Does have some heal. He can throw it afterwards, and that's the decision to run away. As you see all of Black and Yellow back out. But as you said, more time being wasted.
Yeah, you saw that. 1 Tricks of the Trade got Wraith King down to like half health there. So if he's alone or being cleaved by a Tricks of the Trade, it destroys him.
Yeah, the Bristle definitely has been a nice pickup, though. Ooh, and he got the Aghanim Shard. I love this Ag Shard on Bristleback. You just throw it out and you get some bonus goo and a couple of quills as well. It's really nice.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And the range on it is like insane. So it's just a really good way to kind of start the fight and be annoying.
And I assume it gives you Warpath stacks as well, right?
Yes, but only for the one instance of throwing out the hairball.
It's just a nice way to get to those higher Warpath stacks quicker when you have 3 spells to spam out. Here we go, though.
Coil, my god, they found him. Now they don't have the nullifier. Able to back away for the moment. Good silence out afterwards from Flea. Leech together, still hanging on to Reincarnation and Aegis. Meanwhile, they jump onto Jubei, kill him off. Already with him and the Undying going down, what else is left on the table? Flea trying to throw out the Magnetize and get a little bit of extra damage done. Face Edict to keep him alive, and all fine and dandy. Lies still hasn't even used his Reincarnation yet. As you can see, Monster is just not at all concerned. So the turnaround comes as Monster throws out the hairball. Lies, turns, tries to beat down Zero. Good kick away there from Flea to keep him alive. RL has to back out. The nullifier's on him. He explodes. And so too does the Wraith King, but the Bristleback is too big and bad at the end of the day as they're going to beat down the Ricky and now turn their sights onto the tower. But buybacks are coming fast and furious as Rayoya found Aegster in the backlines. So it's kind of only these two here.
They're 2 versus 4. They don't care. They're both unkillable.
Really 2 big, giant strength heroes. Lies still taking a lot of damage. Does have the Aegis. He's going to come back, and then 10 seconds until Reincarnation. We'll see if they can blow him up. They Taking a lot of damage. Coil is there. 4
Got the keys.
seconds. 3.
Nice
Krul
coil
breaks
break.
it. Can
1
they do it
second.
in time? Almost there. No, he gets reincarnation. He's going to be coming back in just a moment, if they even kill him at all. So they do bring down Lies. RL taking a lot of damage as well. Yamsum has just done so much on this Ricky. Tries to find him for the catch, but the Force Staff keeps him alive. And they're going to bring it down Royoya and Yamsum in just a moment here. I believe RL might end up going down still. So Royoya putting some stylish moves on, but it is Mega Creeps in the end. And, well, they pick up a Desolator with their eyes on the prize. Gonna head into the fountain damn near. They
Get
don't
them
even
tier
care.
4s. Secure the W.
That's right.
You know, this game's not over if you let everyone respawn, but it sure feels like it should be. And there we go. The GG's come out. Monster, an absolute unkillable monster on his Bristleback, leading the way. Not flashy, but Bristleback never is. It was just such a fantastic victory this game.
What a play from 5ManMidas. First DPC match for almost all of these players at this point, and you know, putting on a hell of a performance. Really, really solid job done. And as you said, off the back of solid drafting, really good play. They dealt with the split push. I'm impressed.
Oh, me too, because they definitely come into this series as at least slight underdogs. You know, a lot more kind of experience on the black and yellow side. Black and yellow made it very easily through the open qualifiers, through the closed qualifier to get into the upper division, whereas 5ManMidas, you know, it was a much tougher road for them. So really solid showing, great drafting, great play, just very impressed.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for game number 1. It looks like we got a series on our hands here. Black and yellow versus 5ManMidas. Game 2 is going to be coming up in just a second. But first, we're going to head on back to the panel and take a break before we go talk to those crazy kids over there.